the discounted rate of $49, you too can get this bottle of YTH Nation Podcast. One that Bella has touched herself.
No, Lecrae touched that one.
Oh, Lecrae.
And Bella has kissed it. Okay.
So you can have it if you want it.
Welcome to the YTH Nation Podcast. Man, we got Elevation Rhythm on the pod today.
Hey, yo.
Let's go.
What up?
Let's
I'm
go.
so excited.
Excited.
Wow. That's
so
insane.
excited.
Excited,
Oh,
man.
rhythm.
I just made up a
Country
name
boy
about
JT.
rhythm. We're going fishing after this.
Rhythm country album on the way.
Bringing the banjo in right there.
Oh, and
My golly. Anyway, this is the gospel. The album is out. Let's
out.
go.
Let's
My
go.
goodness.
Finally.
Second album out. That's
Second one.
Elevation Rhythm. That's insane. Bella, do you need some help with your mic here,
Some
buddy?
assistance. Is this?
Is that good? Is she good? Bree?
Bree's telling me
She's
it's not
good?
good.
She's good?
Should I
yeah.
move
All right,
it?
let's start this thing over. Yeah.
Oh, she got it. Let's go.
Hey,
Put
yeah.
it down a little bit.
I know how to work a
There
mic.
you go. Okay. The sass is insane. So the album's out. This is crazy. Bro, how do you feel? You feel good?
I feel relief.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that long of a process. I feel like making Growing Pains took way longer than this one did.
Really?
This one came quick.
This one was more intense because
Yeah.
we knew exactly what we wanted to do. And so it was literally just chasing the vision.
Right.
So that's all we were doing was just chasing a vision, a God-given vision. And so it's a relief to finally be able to let everybody else kind of
Yeah.
into what we've been kind of chasing for the last couple of months.
And where does that kind of come from? Like that vision for like an album?
What's
Like,
the inspiration for this
yeah,
album?
which is kind of crazy.
Well, the inspiration was really after Growing Pains. When we were writing Growing Pains, we were really addressing a lot of emotional feelings and kind of tying them to truth. And this time we kind of wanted to flip it and start with truth, start with biblical truth, and start with the things that we believe as a church and as a ministry in the church. And make sure that I said I didn't want to put out another song like until we sang about what we believe in and what we're
that's
for.
good.
And so we want to be known for what we're for.
Right.
And so Rhythm's new and we're still putting out music. And so I was like, well, since we're still introducing ourselves to people, let's also tell people who we are and also but what we're for and what we believe and how we love Jesus and
Right.
everything that we do. He's at the center of it all.
That's fire. And while you're talking about you guys being new on the scene and everything, I feel like we should just introduce you guys and learn about what you do first too. So
I feel like not that many people are tapped with like Josh and
right,
everything
which
he
is
does.
just a massive
They should
mistake,
be.
dude.
Yeah.
You guys need to get
He's the
tapped
brains
in.
behind this whole thing.
Literally.
So,
So,
give your little pitch on like who
What
you
I
are in
do?
relation to rhythm.
give your elevator pitch on.
All right. Well, I'm the producer, so I'm more behind the scenes. I think that I kind of came in 2020, 2021, but I started working with Tiff and David when first song I did was Better With You, and then I did Quiet with them. And then I did that from Florida and in Orlando.
That's
and then
crazy.
in 2021, I moved up here and got way more involved and really started to just kind of put some oomph behind Rhythm. Like, okay, like it's time for it to kind of go a little bit.
Have some legs.
Yeah, kind of like do more. And so what I do kind of allows for that because I don't sing. I don't really, and so it's just, I'm way more, I've been producing for artists since I was like 18. And
Yeah.
so I kind of know how to really set up artists and really navigate projects and navigate artistry and navigate all that kind of things from behind the scenes.
Right.
And so it really just worked out perfectly with where David is and how he's able to spearhead a lot of things on the front end. I was able to support him on the back end and just really just like, it's almost like, you know, you have Steve Jobs and you have Steve Wozniak.
Yeah.
In this analogy, I'm gonna be Steve Wozniak, even though I feel like I am Steve Jobs. And this one, I'm gonna be Steve Wozniak.
Crazy.
But like, you know how they say like he's the one who put like Steve Jobs had all the ideas, but Woz was in the back, like being like, okay, this is how you actually make this idea become possible.
Right.
And so I think that's what a producer does really, is just someone who's able to take the ideas and make them tangible.
Right.
And so there's always been a lot of dreams and vision and ideas with rhythm, and I just kind of came in to kind of start making them tangible with songs and bringing in people and really start developing people.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
so,
fire.
all right, let's take it back even more. Just list quick list of your placements that you like, people you work with.
That's so.
You gotta let the people know.
No, we don't have to let the people know.
You keeping it on the D-Lo?
No, it's not down low. I worked with a lot of hip hop artists, a lot of R&B artists, a lot of pop artists.
Yeah.
Like 2 Chainz. I worked with Big Sean. I worked with like all those kind of, all those kind of people.
Yeah.
All those guys.
So how'd you make the transition from that to then wanting to work in the Christian space?
Well, I quit music altogether.
Yeah.
I was done. When I kind of left that world, I just left music.
That's crazy.
And God kind of brought me back to music. I was more focused on getting my life right with him more than I was trying to just make Christian music. Like I didn't really know that was an option. Like I wasn't thinking about Christian music when I left and when I became a Christian. And so that was a very interesting time, but that's why I love rhythm, because what rhythm stands for is because they kind of made space for me. Like someone who came from a completely different world, who didn't make music that kind of was similar or familiar to what they were used to in the church. They kind of welcomed me with open arms. This whole church did. And so that's why I love Elevation, is because, and I continue to make sure that we do that, as we make space for people who may not even know if what they can do is something that the church needs. Like the kingdom always needs people who are artistically expressive and just have something, and that vulnerability and all that stuff. And so, that's kind of how I made that transition, was maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. But I kind of left the secular world like 7-8 years ago.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I didn't even know you quit music in between. That's even more powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sick. All right,
That's
Bella,
nuts.
what about you?
For me, it's almost been actually a little over like 2 years now since I kind of started working with rhythm a little bit. I had a friend who showed her worship pastor a video of me leading worship, who ended up showing it to David, and he just shot me a text, and the next week I came and led at my first rhythm night and got to kind of songwrite with them and a few others for a little bit, and it was just really, really special, because I was like in college at the time, really was just trusting the Lord I didn't really have any like a ton of plans in the future, but trusted the Lord that like he'll order my steps and like make the way. And when that opportunity came about, it was just like very much, it was the Lord that had opened the door. And so even here now, it's just like, there's nothing that I did to get myself here. And so it's just been a cool journey of like David and Josh from the beginning. I met Josh at this writing camp the first time.
The song we wrote was so bad.
It was so bad. I didn't write anything good.
Was I there when you came to that camp, or was that the second camp?
You were there. We did the I don't even got a knife.
Yeah, that was
I don't
crazy.
want to shout out God.
That song's hard. I still think that song's hard.
Josh
It was good.
disagrees.
It was good. No, but these two and so many others just believed in me and like saw so much in me that I never saw in myself.
Wow.
And I just like am amazed to this day that I get to be here and that I get to do what I do and get to be doing albums and touring and all these things, because it's like not even in my wildest dreams. But it's just like what Josh says, he's so good at developing and just believing in people, and so is David and so many of our other leaders. And so I'm just a product of like people pouring into me and believing in me.
Yeah.
Which is like really special.
That's so
And so
fire.
I just get to be here and learn and grow and lead worship. And it's actually really funny, because I remember the first time I sat down with Josh and talked about rhythm, I was like, I don't really know if I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Because I
crazy.
am not like super into pop music. I love just intimate and just special moments of like worship and,
Right.
And the idea of doing kind of stuff that rhythm had done in the past wasn't like super exciting to me. But again, the Lord just always knows better. Like his plans are better than our plans, and his ways are better than our ways. Yeah. And I'm like living proof of that, because I love what I'm doing now. And I
Wow.
love my team, and I love these songs, and I believe in them wholeheartedly. And so it's just cool to see like the Lord change my heart, and I'm just honored to get to be here. You
That's
know?
amazing.
sick.
I love that.
There we go. So okay, back to the album. If you had to give a 1-sentence pitch on why someone should listen to the album, what would you say?
Ooh.
I mean, it's the sentence. This is the gospel. That's why you should listen
Yeah.
to it,
Yeah.
because this is the gospel. Like it's the story that we've heard. And maybe you haven't heard it, but the ones who have heard the story of the gospel, like it's told in 2023. Like this is our we didn't try to make it too cool or anything like that, but this is like how we tell it. I almost joke around because in the Bible is like the gospel according to John, the gospel according. It's like this is the gospel according to rhythm.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
And it's just like it's
That's
the
cool.
story that like we all know and love, but also you should listen to it because it's because Bella's on it,
Hello.
Woo.
and we have Joelle's on it. We have this girl named Libby. She sings
She's
Purify.
so good.
If you listen to Purify, we have this girl named Libby singing that.
Yeah.
And it's just full of truth, and it's also full of talented, gifted people,
Yeah.
and just vibes.
Yeah. What is y'all's favorite song on the record?
You go.
Honestly, mine is.
If you say You'll Be Saved,
I'm
that
not
was
gonna
That's
say
crazy.
that. I'm not gonna
That's
say it.
insanely narcissistic.
If I didn't sing the
JT
song,
too far.
it might be my favorite
Honestly,
because
You'll Be Saved.
the lyrics.
Which one?
You will be saved. But I'm not gonna say that. I
kidding.
think Purify is probably my favorite because
Banger.
Libby is so good. Like she's just this. She leads at like this little local church in her hometown with her parents,
Yeah.
and just like loves the local body and loves Jesus and loves like worship. And she came here and just like. It was in like she is so gifted and so talented, but like her humble heart is just what stands out most about her, and it's so beautiful about her. So probably that song is like what sticks in my head most about the album.
Dang. Love
That's
that.
it.
Joshua.
I think it'd be Street Lights.
Ooh,
Same.
my
Street
gosh,
Lights is
dude.
it was the last song I wrote for the album, and I don't even think I meant for it to be on the album. I think when I played the album for Pastor Steven, we were just talking about it a lot, and one thing that we always try to incorporate, one thing that rhythm does is we like to address the tension. And I didn't feel like we had a song that really kind of like talked about those things. And so I went to Nashville and I wrote with a few friends, but it's that same saying that I had when we were growing up of like, hey, like when the street, like you can go outside, like you can go, but like your indicator of like you need to come home is when you see that street light come on.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so it's like so true. And if you think about God and you think about the story of the prodigal son, it's like all these things, like when it says like the death in my life and all those things, it's like those are indicators that like, oh, like I need to come home, like to the Father. And so that kind of metaphor worked out perfectly in the songwriting process.
Yeah.
And then Brittany did a great job singing it. And like everything about that song just kind of came together so well that I was like, I have to put it on the album.
Yeah.
And so it sits right in the middle,
crazy.
so you won't miss it. I put it in the middle. It's like you will not miss this song.
I feel like for me, it's unfair to say it's my favorite because it's the newest one. I feel like I was like
Recency
it takes you
bias.
by surprise, but like that song is
Song's
the
nuts,
production
man.
is just it's crazy.
So speaking of You Will Be Saved, let's go back to that.
Great
Since that's your favorite
segue.
song
Because
and you're the one
it's not my favorite.
on the song.
she hates that song.
Just
Crazy.
because
We're
of
gonna
the
have to-
truth
yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. How was it making that song? How was it tracking it?
Well,
Let's be honest.
Josh-
We argued about this yesterday on the tour bus.
Uh-oh.
She did
Spill
not
the
like the
beans.
song when I first showed it to her.
okay.
No way.
That's crazy.
She did not like it. And I asked her, I was like, hey, can you come in and record this song? And she was like, okay. And then after we got done, she was like, oh yeah, like she's kind of giving like, yeah, that was cool. Like, are we really gonna do this song? And I was just like, what? You don't like this song? She was like, I mean, it's not a bad song.
Right.
I do not remember that.
And
that was hard to please. Jeez.
No,
she don't like our music.
That is so not
She
true.
said it at the
I love
beginning. She's like,
I
man, I didn't want to come on.
Right.
No, I thought it was
I
lame for
didn't
real.
mean that.
I've had more conversations.
I got
with,
that
I
check.
had more conversations with her about her
Okay.
not liking our music than her
Yeah.
liking it.
Oh yeah.
This is new to me. I've never heard of it.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean
so
to.
funny.
I just want to put that truth before she starts
Right.
lying. Before
Okay.
she
I just wanted
starts
to tell the
lying.
truth before she starts clapping.
No, the song like came to life after a while, and after like I think the first time you hear something and you're given this thing and like entrusted with it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's just a big weight. And I think after I sat with it for a while and like really just, it's so simple. And so that kind of like took me by surprise at the beginning. But then I started just diving into scripture and diving into truth about just like the lyrics of the song. It just is like straight scripture. Then like I just fell in love with it more. Cause like how could you
Right,
not? It
right.
literally is. It's Romans 10 says like call upon
literally.
the name of Jesus and you will be saved. And so it's straight scripture, which is why I love it. But Josh can probably speak more to the writing part of it.
Well, yeah. It was funny why you didn't like it because it was inspired by a conversation I had
That
with
we had.
That you guys had together.
Should I tell them
Yeah,
about
it
it?
was.
Crazy.
I mean, it was. I guess we were just having our like regular meetings. I'm Bella's boss, so I have to meet with her
Yeah.
one-on-one.
Yeah,
And
just in
so-
case you didn't
just in case
know.
you-
We're just gonna be learning new things about Josh throughout the
He's
interview because he
about
doesn't
it.
like to talk about himself
Right.
all at once.
But we were having our just weekly meeting, but we both end up just having deep talks all the time, and so it probably went longer than it was supposed to. But we were talking about just the thought of never want to get to a place where we don't need Jesus as a savior.
Yeah.
Like we know him as a lot of different things, but I always want to know him as a savior. And so that as much as the song is kind of like, if you feel like it's for the one, like it's for the one who's lost that like has never given their life to Christ, it came from a place of the church people who were like,
Yeah.
oh no, we need this song. Like
Yeah.
we need to know Jesus as a savior always. Like calling Jesus Savior is such a humbling thing to say because it means that you're like you need saving. Like, and so that's kind of where it started from. And then obviously the song is pretty much scripture in Romans. It's really just that salvation. The one thing that I didn't get to on that song was a salvation prayer. I think I just ran out of time, but I was
First, gotta go back and rewrite the album.
I
Put
think-
out a
but I was
We're
like,
gonna hit deadlines, man.
yeah, I know. I'm the worst with that. But that's all it is. It's like that song is so special because of that invitation.
Yeah.
It's just a song. It's just it's the last song on the album for that reason. It's like that's the invitation.
Right.
And so I love it. I think Bella's voice, even though she didn't write the song, I think what's important. Oh
That's
man,
awesome, dude. That's so
like
good.
podcast etiquette 101, bro. Like,
Can somebody take this Gatorade from this kid? I mean, the ASMR we must be getting in the mic of him taking
he's having
the
a
cap
full
off
on.
is
He's having a full on
insane.
lunch on this podcast right now.
Bro, you inspired me getting the
Yeah, but I
Telegrams.
stopped.
You ain't even eating
when we
them.
started recording. You're supposed to stop.
I thought we were on that type of time.
Oh.
But no, it is a. I think rhythm. Everyone on rhythm doesn't write all the time, but a lot of the songs they can come from the conversations as well. Like Bella didn't write on it, but
Right.
it's like the way she's able to lead it is because it came from a conversation I had with her, and I think that's also important for our team to we just love each other and we love we see each other as brothers and sisters, and we're just willing to be vulnerable with each other and like have those conversations about what we're going through and stuff like that.
Right.
That's sick. All right, so hard pivot. Is there any fire songs that didn't make the cut for the album?
Any fire songs that didn't make the cut for the album?
Like a low key banger that you're like, you know what I'm saying, but it just didn't make the cut.
That's tough for me to say because
Might be on the next
I'll
one.
be like, yeah, I'll just.
That's what I'm saying.
let's keep
That's
making
why
them.
I'm asking because you always be thinking about the next one.
Yeah, I'll be thinking about the next. I think there's a lot of great songs. I mean, even the night we did more songs that ended up on the album.
Yeah.
I think that's the There's a song. What's it called with Aaron and
Anyway?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that song. I love that song.
Song's a banger.
That song. You feel like you asked that question hoping I was going to say it.
Yeah, I was.
Is
gonna
there
say that
one
one's
that
banging.
I specifically played the 808 on that you did not put on that?
And you played it on the night.
No, that song is crazy, and
Wow, they're setting the vibe.
can y'all hear that? Yeah.
We'll be good. We'll be good.
Yeah. Do you think there's one that you're mad that I cut?
No, I didn't. No, I don't feel like I heard a ton of other ones that we worked on.
What is rhythm like? What can you just explain maybe for the people who don't know? Like this is not even on script, but like the dichotomy of like rhythm, because it is a little bit different than even let's say like EW, because it wouldn't be like their structure. It is like kind of a collective feel, kind of like different people coming in, different people writing.
Yeah,
like
how do you
actually
think of
tracking
it?
it? Like
Yeah.
It's interesting because rhythm has what rhythm is and like what we're building it to be and what it is right now are kind of like it's in the awkward phase of like, oh, it's not really there yet. Yes, rhythm is a collective, and we have songwriters, we got producers, we got singers, we have musicians. Like I tell people all the time, our guitar player, is probably the most important person in rhythm because he's like a pillar for this whole thing.
Glue.
And so
Yeah, carries everything.
yeah, we're kind of like there's not really a partition or like any walls between who's rhythm. Like it's everybody.
love that.
The hope is that it becomes like we can get it even stronger with like graphic designers and people who do merch, and like I just want rhythm to be a true collective of creatives, not just people who just do music, but just people, like I said before, people who have that artistic expression.
Yeah.
And they're looking for a place to use it. I want rhythm to be that home. Rhythm to be the home for those people.
That's great, bro. So in your head, like it's almost like for the future of rhythm, like that would be your answer. Like, what's the future of rhythm? Just like a full blown like almost label for just like creativity. That's so sick, bro. I love that.
That's fire.
Have y'all started cooking the next album?
Ooh,
He always
Can't-
be cooking.
can't
He
say.
stays
no, it's
cooking.
crazy. No one knows this because I just thought about this yesterday on the ride back from Raleigh. But we're working on 3 albums.
3 albums.
Yeah, I have not working on.
Yeah.
Including This Is the Gospel?
No.
3 more.
3 different
So
projects.
4.
Yeah, we're working on 3 different projects.
That's crazy.
I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's just I thought about it last night. We came back from Raleigh, and I think I know what the next 3 projects are going to be. So,
Break it
That's
down.
nuts.
Give us a sneak peek of just what was going through here.
well, I'll tell you, they're all going to be different.
Yeah.
They probably all won't be full albums. Probably be an EP, an album, and maybe maybe one would be like even just one song. It's just
Yeah.
what you can expect from rhythm is that we're not in a rush to define the sound of rhythm. Like we're in no rush to be like this is the sound of rhythm. Like we're gonna continue to explore, and that's why it was so important for us to do This Is the Gospel to kind of anchor us because as we're discovering, like we got to know what home base is, and so I think for these next 3 projects, I'll say we're gonna. I don't know how much to say. Dang, like I might
Say
just give
whatever you're
y'all.
comfortable with, man.
Do I give y'all the exclusive? exclusive.
Right here first on the Youth Nation Podcast.
Hey,
well-
that is what a podcast is for.
I'll say like we're gonna do 1 live album, we're gonna do 1 studio album, and we're gonna do a different project that's gonna be a genre that we've never done before.
What genre?
Whoa.
And I can't give
Country?
you more than that. Maybe
Can't
Crazy.
say.
Morgan
Country.
Wallen
Dude,
hit us
don't
up.
Rock and roll?
Don't get me fired up, bro. Don't get me fired up.
Yeah,
Started.
kind of like
That's
how we
crazy,
did
bro.
like Akia Stoy just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like I might just do another
Another surprise.
curveball, but like, oh, y'all didn't know
What's your personal favorite rhythm song that you've ever made and why?
I've ever made.
Yeah, that you've been a part of. I mean, it's kind of hard to find one that you weren't about. I mean, you'd have to go back in the archives. Bro, got to go back and say freaking Walk on Water.
My favorite rhythm
And
song
he
I
even
ever
made Walk
made
on Water, so that
was
doesn't even make any sense.
man, I don't know. Name Name
Just
ones that
start
you
naming
like,
them?
and I'll see if it's as a
Okay,
producer.
one
Producer,
that's-
just
I have
producer.
to guess.
Yeah,
Growing
If
producer
I
Pains
was
to
part
guessing,
producer.
I would say that your favorite song would be like Quiet. Or no.
That's top 3.
Yeah. Quiet. Like I would say Growing Pains. The song? No? No? Okay.
Not my favorite.
I'm just guessing here.
You told me to throw some out.
He's like, don't
Wrong.
say that song.
I don't know. It's probably going to be. I don't know.
Does the gospel? Would that be up there?
Yeah, that'd be up there. I'd probably say. I mean, I know we just talked about it. Probably be Streetlights.
Like
Wow.
top ever. There we go.
Recency bias. This is the last song I
Yeah,
made.
yeah.
so-
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I think Quiet came so. Like, I mean, remember when we like.
Yeah, talk about that. Talk about Quiet, like that whole story.
Let's talk about Quiet.
Like how it came about, everything, like in like quarantine.
Quiet was we wrote that during quarantine. We're trying to do the opposite of what Rhythm was kind of doing at the time, which was just like music that was just like
Yeah.
We're like it was
Right.
kind of like hit a 180 and really address the fact that kids are not just kids, but everyone's just in their rooms in this place of just like self-reflection and kind of getting hit with a lot of confrontation of just like things that they've been kind of pushing off because of busyness. Like you weren't able to use busyness as an excuse anymore in quarantine. And I think it made people really aware of a lot of things that they've kind of neglected. And so that's why we wrote the song. But the sonics of it, of just like saying the word quiet and then like an 808 hitting.
Yeah.
I think that was probably like the coolest thing for me for that song, was just like how I was able to say quiet, or like we're able to sing it. And I was like, how's this going to sound? Because I don't want us to whisper in a song, or like, I was like, how do I get that
Yeah.
in a creative way? And so we kind of did it all in one session, and then sent it to you, and you already had some ideas.
I had
You
an
were-
idea, but it didn't make the cut.
Yeah, hey,
I had some
Elijah,
crazy.
one thing Elijah's gonna do is he's gonna have an idea. He's
might
gonna
not
have
make
an
the cut.
opinion, or he's gonna have an idea.
He's gonna have an idea.
But you kind of like, your energy around it made it feel like, oh no, y'all, like there's more. Like
Yeah.
there's more. Y'all need to go back to the studio
Yeah.
and keep digging, because y'all tapped into something.
Bro, when I
And
heard
so-
those 808s, I was like, dang, this is a bang.
and so
I'm sold.
that's probably one. I guess that would be, now that I'm like reliving it. That one might be.
I feel like that's like the like epitome of like you starting to like come with rhythm and everything.
Yeah.
It's like a banger.
And we did. I mean, I love the piano version too. What annoys me
yeah,
about
acoustic,
it is
yeah.
though, it took me like 3 weeks to make the regular version of it with
That's
the 808 and all that.
Yeah.
And it took me maybe like 5 minutes to make the piano version. But everyone loves the piano version more than they
Yeah.
love it. And I'm the only person who still loves the regular one. I
The
think,
regular,
because
yeah.
I know how much work went into it.
Right.
Nah, bro,
right.
I'm rocking with the regular. Bro.
Hey,
I'm rocking
thank you,
with
thank
that
you.
for
Hey, go
sure.
stream it right now.
Go stream it right now.
Because right
On
now,
all streaming
people are
platforms,
listening
it's
right now.
available.
It's in
Yeah.
the description, bro. Links in the description, bro.
But yeah, that's always a funny thing, is when the songs that take me the longest, people are like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then the song like Easy off our last album
Right.
is just like a voice memo.
That's
And it's
crazy.
like on Spotify, it was like #1 for the first like 10 weeks. And it was literally just a room mic.
Crazy.
And it's just like, you can't really put a formula to what, you just kind of have to just keep creating and
Right.
keep like trying to connect with people, but you can never walk out the studio and be like, this one.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
this is going to be the one. And even if you think it is, it might be a different version. Like we could have just went with the regular version of Quiet, but we kind of were like, well, what if we just did a actual piano? And then thank
Actual
God
Quiet.
we did.
Thank God we did.
Thank God we did.
That's
for real.
crazy, bro.
Bella, what's your favorite like rhythm song to perform?
Oh gosh. I don't know. Any of the fun ones like Hallie had or Fake Love are always fun because they have like really fun harmonies.
Yeah.
And kind of like runs that we could do. But I'll always like, my heart is always for the worship stuff.
Yeah.
And so anything like over and over
Banger.
is always probably going to be my favorite. Even we've been tagging recently, Great Are You Lord, to the end of Over and
Yeah.
Over. And we did it a few weeks ago on tour with Lecrae, and it just like every night hits so
Yeah.
hard in the
Yeah, it's
room.
crazy.
And it's just like everyone knows the song. And so it's sweet to get to do those moments. And
Yeah, that's sick.
yeah.
Did you write on Over and Over?
No, it was written, like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, we wrote
With
that.
Tiff and David and
Over and
Josh,
over was,
yeah.
Did you write on it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
so
think it
tell
got-
the story behind that.
we wrote it. I think we were at one of our campus. We couldn't find a place to write, And so we were just like, let's go to Elevation Blakeney, I think. Then we went to the Blakeney campus, and there's like this little room, and we set up. David had this whole studio, which I don't even think you even know where that stuff is anymore. But you bought a whole studio. You almost bought a whole studio. You had everything that like you would need. And I'm like, are you producing?
Bro, he used to be bringing like the mic and everything in his car.
He had this, he had the arrow, he had the keyboard.
Yep.
And so I would show him my laptop.
That just took me back. Bro.
And he had the setup. And so we set up in this room at one of the churches, and Tiff loves the Book of Revelations, and she
does.
So she went straight to the Book of Revelations, and so we just started reading some scripture, and then that's kind of where the song came from. But it was not a normal songwriting session for it. It was more of us just being like, hey, let's just write and let's just find a space to do it. But yeah, that song was pretty older, like maybe like a year. We had it for like a year before Bella sang on it.
So how long before the actual song dropped?
It'd be like 2 years, 2.5 years.
That's crazy.
Dang, that's nuts.
Do you feel like you're good at like picking out which ones are going to be the bangers, or does it ever surprise you, like which ones pop off?
I can pick out which songs make the most sense to release.
Yeah.
I can't figure out which ones are going to be the song, but I think as a producer, I have this filter that, like we said, like we recorded so many songs for This Is the Gospel, but I kind of have to put them through this filter of being like, no, I know how to make a project, and I know how to make a cohesive message and those kind of things. And so I think after that, I take my hands off of it. It's like, I can't, like, I think it's our job to be a steward of these songs, but not try to be the owner of them till we're like, this is the song. And because when we become the owners of things, we control the outcome. But all we're supposed to do as stewards is really just to steward the income of it. And so it's like, okay, these are the songs. How do I shape them? How do I make them the best they're supposed to do? And then we just release them out, and we take our hands off and be like, God, now they're yours now. And so that's our job, is really just to like, just do our best with them. Yeah. And then I probably filter them through to really be like, okay, how can this song make the most sense? And does it make sense to come out now, a year later, 2 years later? Does this person need to sing it? Does Bella need to sing it? Like, it's like those kind of conversations and thoughts are the ones I go through, and then we just release them.
Yeah, that's fire. Well, thanks for hanging with us for a little bit, guys. We got to get you off to sound check and
Thanks
the Cray tour and everything.
I got to eat my honey grams.
Get these boys in here.
And we're not done with the podcast.
Oh,
we're doing
Terrell
some
showed
tags
up.
in right here.
It's like tag team.
We got David and Nathan coming in hot.
Get over here.
Hey, coming in.
Tag me in.
From what? What are you sore from? You work out. Really? Yeah.
You
worked out? I never work out, bro. Every workout for like an hour.
The other day, David went so crazy in the gym.
Look at you walking right now, bro.
Whose phone is this?
Are you okay?
This phone is so little.
Is that Stella's phone?
Stella.
What's your password?
No, don't worry. It's not yours.
It's not yours.
Oh, whose is it? What?
You got mad pocket sweat. You got mad pocket sweat. That camera is so blurry. Nervous.
Now, she was nervous.
Cheetos in her pocket.
She said, my favorite song.
My favorite song is the ones I sing.
I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna take my shoes off.
I mean, buddy, let's
please.
get comfy.
It's a cross leg.
Show off those Balenciaga
Chris Cross applesauce. Yo, shout out Lamb Fabrice. Shout out Christian Donadio.
Shout out Lamb. This jacket
Shout out
also-
Lamb.
I mean, we're
wearing
Lamb out.
pants right now.
Shout out Christian.
You already know.
Shout out
Man.
Lamb. Shout out Lamb. I've been trying to
It's
get
good
him
to
to
be with
style
you
me for a
boys.
while.
I don't know if we've ever announced this, on the podcast, but me and Nate are actually roommates. So
We live together.
we live together, but you're out on tour, bro.
And
half
I thought you were gonna
those are,
say
like,
like
at
y'all are
their
like
apartment.
brothers, like you have like the same mom and dad. I
Oh,
thought that's
yeah.
where
Bye,
you're going.
We
Bella.
do.
Bye, Josh. Oh,
We
man.
do, yeah. We look a lot alike too. Very
You guys
similar,
do?
Yeah.
Y'all make a cute family.
Yeah.
He's my cousin.
Oh my gosh, man. How y'all feel? You feel good? You guys are both on tour right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
wild.
I mean, I'm honestly in pain right now
Yeah.
because I don't work out.
Right.
And Nate forced me to.
He did.
Oh, dude, like
No,
literally gave
you
me no
wanted
choice.
to.
no, you
Bro.
said
What
a
y'all
real
hit?
man
Y'all
would
hit
work
legs?
out.
Well, no. That is so crazy.
I was like, you're a menace if you the first time he works out. And like,
Yes.
Yeah, you put him through
No.
And
He-
you've seen I've got like chicken legs.
Oh yeah.
No,
you're
David
good-
went
you're
crazy.
cut, though. You're pretty
David ran like 3 miles. I didn't do anything. that he did. He just went off on his own and went crazy because he ran like 3 miles and then was just doing mad sit-ups and then was like
No, and then he
also
was like-
hit legs.
Then he was like, let's do your chest now. Let's do your chest. And that
Right. Oh,
yeah,
ripped
yeah.
me apart.
Can we also, while we're just talking about this David's fitness journey here, can we talk about your diet?
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People don't know about this. This is the exclusive stuff.
People don't really know about this unless maybe they follow you.
David's
but
diet is terrible.
they need
No,
to
no,
know.
no, 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 no. It is anointed.
It's horrible.
All right,
Okay.
tell them.
So
what's your diet?
I try eat a box of Mike and Ike's a day. That's why-
He's not kidding either.
Bro, bring
I'm
the
not
mic.
even joking.
Yeah, can we get him his Mike and Ike's?
Can someone please get this man Mike and Ike's?
He's still got a whole bag to
Y'all are
finish
supposed
for
to be
his
hospitable.
daily regimen.
So I try eat. Hey, Mike and Ike sponsor me. I eat this like all the time.
right.
Blast the music.
Bro
I
brought 2 bags.
I have like a Coca-Cola with every meal.
Okay. With a straw.
Yeah, with a straw. Has
In
to
the
be with
can.
a straw in the can. And then I eat like Chick-fil-A and McDonald's, and I just kind of rotate between the two.
Rotate those, and you don't get sick of them.
No, I mean it's consistency. You know what I
And
mean?
you don't
Pastor
like,
Stephen preaches
and you don't like
consistency.
struggle breathing or like.
No, I mean
Haven't
not
had
yet.
any,
Or have-
Every once in a while, he
ulcers or
feels a
anything,
sharp
right?
pain in his
How are your
chest,
teeth? Like,
Kinda
Right.
goes on.
Hey, we will not talk about my teeth.
And you
okay?
don't drink water.
Oh no, I hate water.
Yeah. So
The only time I drink it is when I'm brushing my teeth or in the shower.
Or when
okay.
you're walking.
So you're not
what-
really drinking.
the only time I drink water is in the shower.
You're not really drinking.
That
though.
is
It's
so
just hitting
crazy.
Your body.
I mean, your skin is amazing. I think your body absorbs like
Right.
all the nutrients from water that it needs. That's
This kid can't handle the mic.
Can't handle his diet. I think I just coughed up one.
Holy
I'm a
cow!
lightweight.
Well, I'm glad everybody knows your meal prep. This is the gospel is out. It's
Oh,
out,
yeah.
boys. That's crazy. It's
crazy.
What's your favorite song on the track? Or
I-
on the
On the
record?
track.
I love streetlights. I love streetlights a lot. I think there's a lot there. I told Josh the other day. I feel like there's like a unique, like a unique revelation on that song. That's like putting language to something that's so holy, like the prodigal son story. It's like, and it shows the heart of the father. Crazy, like
Yeah.
that's like, hey, just come home. Like it really is that simple. Yeah, there's like something. I feel like it's a whole new river. That song of like revelation and like understanding the heart of God and like it's crazy. It wrecked me the first time I heard it.
yeah, that's great.
It's fire.
I don't know if people can hear, but they're sound checking
Right.
right
Yeah,
behind
they
us.
are.
Awesome sound
So that's
check
that's
before
definitely
the,
bleeding through.
Yeah.
But man, I think my favorite changes almost daily. But right now, I gotta say praises. I really
Yeah.
love praises.
What a
I just
banger.
yeah, I just think when
So far.
when we wrote it, it was kind of like a big middle finger to like culture. 'Cause I think sometimes culture wants us to be loud about everything, but our love for Jesus and our love for Christ. And so when
Right.
we kind of wrote that, it was really like this like anthemic, just like I don't care what people think of me.
Right.
Like I'm a post about Jesus. Like I'm a walk around the streets and just like
Yep.
just be like proud of like saying that I'm in a relationship with God. And I feel like sometimes people can shy away from that.
Right.
And so praise is just like, and it's just like it's so fun to sing and to scream
Right.
out.
Yeah.
So I have to say, like when I'm really angry at like myself,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, I'm really upset. Put praises on, and I'm just like, okay, let's freaking go,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. I love that. All right, so
That's
to
fine.
backtrack, how the heck did both you guys get involved with rhythm?
You're like the forefather of rhythm. I will
the
always give
all-father.
I will always give David his flowers forever.
Nope.
Because y'all see rhythm now, but y'all didn't see when this man picked up his whole life from South Africa and became a part of a program at Elevation because he was so
literally.
passionate about young people and connecting with
Pause.
young people through through music.
Bro.
Like he was so passionate about connecting with young people through music that he literally left everything he knew, him and Gina, moved to a different country and helped start what we know as rhythm today, like is on the shoulders of giants like you.
Yeah.
Because you before any of us were writing, before any of us were singing for it, bro, like you were at Bali cooking, like looking for like young people to sing something that they had never sang before and writing songs with Tiff when nobody was watching. And so y'all see all this now, but it's like literal years of faithfulness that
Bro.
we're standing on. So thank you.
That means a lot. But like I really got to say, Pastor Stephen is probably the genesis of rhythm.
Yeah. PSF.
Because,
Shout out Pastor Stephen.
PSF, like, I remember like just he, like he just kind of saw something 6-7 years ago and was just kind of looking for people who would, be willing to take a risk and just say, okay, Pastor, like I trust what you're believing for the next generation. And I just remember like, you know, like he was the one that was constantly going, hey, y'all should try this. Y'all, hey, like why aren't you guys doing this? Why are you guys trying to be elevation worship? He was like, no, that's already set. Like, try this. Keep going. Keep exploring. You know? And so like I think Pastor Stephen's brain and his heart was transferred into the genesis of rhythm, you know, which was, you know, at the beginning, Tiff and I. And I think it's just continued, like even to this day. Not one song that Rhythm releases he doesn't hear first. You know, not one song does he not have the ability to speak into lyrically, melodically, you know, even in production, even as a whole album. Like he is probably the GOAT of rhythm. If we want to give people their flowers. And so like I'm just grateful that he believed in rhythm before I even knew what rhythm could be. And so that's definitely like when you talk about the genesis of rhythm, it's our pastor getting on that stage and going, I believe that our church has more to the story. Ding, ding, ding.
Immeasurably more, baby.
So immeasurably more.
Yeah, I feel like the very first time I ever did anything with rhythm was because y'all invited me to come and lead at a rhythm night. And that was May of
And
2021. We're going to talk about that later because I thought I infected this man.
He did.
I don't know how I did. I don't know how I didn't. The very first time I ever met David, I took a bite out of a chicken sandwich and I said, I can't taste this. This is in the thick of COVID. And I was like, we've been with each other. We just wrote. Like, this is.
We had just
I was like, yo, I definitely got the vid, bro. Like, but I came and led at a rhythm night. And I like, it's so corny to be like, oh, I didn't want to be a part of it. But I genuinely did it. Like, I told everyone when I got here, like, it's not my default language. And I think that we can convince ourselves that, like, soaking sessions and, like, pads and, like, that kind of worship is more holy than, no, it really is like the Lord will meet people differently. Like, I've seen kids cry to 808s the same way I've cried to Upper Room. So it's like, I think that, like, that's my default. That's my default language is like very Bethel-y, very soaky. It's just what I was like, it's what I connect with to more. That's individual, you know? But when I heard rhythm, I was just like, no, this ain't it. Like, it's cool, but it's not me. And then I had a conversation with you and Tim, and y'all were just like explaining the vision of rhythm. I don't even know how it happened. I eventually got invited to come out and hang out this summer, and I just started doing stuff with rhythm more like just like on a local level. It wasn't like no label stuff. It wasn't any album stuff. It was just like getting involved with the youth ministry. And I just fell in love with it. Like even sonically, it challenged me. And I was like, I would take it to the Lord in prayer, and he was convicting me like, no, this is a thing. Like, I love these songs. So why don't you? Like, he truly loves these songs. He loves Meant to Be. He loves when we sing all along. He loves when we sing over and over, but he also loves when we sing back then because we get to step on the devil's head. You know, so like that's how I got involved with rhythm. It was just on a local level. And then obviously it just ended up like it was so organic. Like before you know it, we were at live recording and we're writing and boom, 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 boom.
And I think that's the beauty of like rhythm is like it's a lot of relationship more than it is like talent based. I think we have great people, but what's even more incredible about them is the hearts that they have for, you know, for Jesus. And so like that was one thing that definitely jumped out even from that very first conversation you and I had. It's just like, man, this guy just loves Jesus. And I'm like, that's all I needed to know. And like, and it's just been a continuation. So we're all friends. Like, so that's, we kick it all the time. Like he sometimes gives me clothes to wear. He's like, hey, you should wear this. And I'm like, oh, yes, please.
And then he teaches me how to do dance moves that I don't know how to do. I'm in the process right now learning something.
So that's kind of where our journeys kind of overlapped within rhythm.
That's fire.
Yeah.
What's y'all's favorite song to perform, rhythm-wise?
Oh, that's so hard.
They just say like not rhythm. They just like freaking. Oh yeah, I love to perform.
I'm like, vuelva a casa. Say something in Spanish.
Good father.
Oh man, like I don't know. Back then goes kind of hard anytime we've done it, and I know you've got a special relationship with back then because we wrote it together. And so like I remember the first time we did back then. I even remember when we were writing it. I was like, man, this I can just see it going off in the room. And so that's probably one of my favorite like songs to do back then. But then I also love Over and Over. So it's like it's both like to just kind of see like people just weeping and like so those are my two probably top of my list.
I think I don't know. I'm stuck.
Come on,
There's
say
some. It's
Fake
hard.
Love, dude.
I
Come on.
no. I love that song though. I think right now I love doing praises. I love getting rowdy in these rooms and just like lifting him up with songs like that. But also like Wind of Love.
Ooh.
That song gets me.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm kind of going through it right now. So Wind of Love is kind of like.
Love, yeah.
I mean, it anchors my
sure.
soul. So like, from like, what are the songs that we're singing to the Lord that we're like are hitting the most with us right now?
Yeah.
Probably those two for me. Wind of Love and Praises. Because I'm like, yo, Praises is crazy, and so is Wind of Love. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fire.
100%.
You guys have any like embarrassing like performing stories?
Oh, which one do you want to hear, bro? I have a video.
Oh,
Wait,
what
was
video
at
do you
Rhythm
have?
Night?
I have a video of me doing it. Wait, will it pick it up if I play it in this?
Oh, yeah,
Oh
100%.
man.
So we were doing a
this
rhythm
is
night,
great.
and I love doing this. We were doing a rhythm night, bro, and
I
I
got one
had
too.
the craziest voice crack ever.
Oh, we posted this.
Yes.
That's crazy. We really put you
All right.
on the spot.
I love it though.
What song was it to? I forgot.
Here again.
Oh,
Yeah.
First off, I don't know
yes,
why
right.
y'all would ever let me do something in the key of D.
Because you got range,
I'm a baritone.
bro. You got
Range, boy.
range, fam.
Does this sound like range?
No,
some more context.
Yeah, but give us some more context. Because what's crazy about after that is your recovery off of that was immaculate.
Bro, okay, we can play the whole thing.
That is not that bad. You have
Oh,
a worse
bro.
performing
That
thing.
recovery-
That
Okay,
thing
I
went
got one.
low-key viral. For
It
that
did.
track.
did.
I submitted it to Worship
did.
Fails and they didn't take it.
It did.
I submitted
Yeah,
it
'cause it's not
twice.
that bad.
It did.
The auto-tune picked it up and it sounded great.
I
That
mean,
was
his
a-
recovery was insane.
It was
I-
still in key.
I
That's
got
not
one.
a real
Okay.
performance story.
We were doing Walk on Water in church, and it was for Reflect, which is
Yeah.
kind of our night where Pastor Holly comes in and just kind of shares a word for our women's all the women in our church, and we're doing Walk on Water, and there's a breakdown in Walk on Water where we kind of ask people to dance, and this was over COVID.
Right.
And I don't know why, but for some reason, I uttered the words, "Okay, ladies, let me see you do it. Yeah,
Whoa.
let me see you do it in your bedrooms." But I was talking about the
live
On the
dance,
Zoom or
and it
whatever?
was over Zoom because
Right.
we didn't have anyone in the room. And I just remember people looking at me like, "What did you just say?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting fired." But remember, it was a whole dance move, and I was
Praise to
like, "Come on!"
God.
And we
Like,
actually
let me see you perform the dance
Yes,
move while
yeah.
you're watching this on Zoom. in your
Yeah,
bed.
like
Right.
encouraging people to worship in their homes.
Exactly.
Like, you don't have all that space to say that. So.
Not in that like 4
Do it in your
seconds.
bedroom.
So
What's that? Let me see you
come
do it in your
on, ladies,
bedroom.
Let me see you do it. Hey, let me see you do it in your bedrooms. And I was like,
Oh,
Dumb
gosh.
ways to die.
so yeah. Needless to say, yeah, they
Well, you're
never
still
asked me to
here.
do Walk on Water ever again.
So that's
God's
good.
grace.
Wait, I low-key have a worse one. I wish
Okay,
I
here we
could
go.
find the stream. You might have been there. When we did Fake Love, first off, you know, I'm not even gonna say that. We did Fake Love at church one Sunday. And yeah, I
You
almost
started in
going-
the wrong key.
I started in the wrong key, bro.
Elijah knew
Sunday?
exactly what
Oh
it
yes,
was.
9:30,
Dude,
ripe out of
So,
sound check.
bro, I try to defend this man. So afterwards, we were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, like they must have gave him the wrong pitch reference or
There
something.
wasn't one.
And so then I was like, I basically tried to say like it wasn't Nate's fault, and then my dad he's like, nah, it was Nate's fault.
Yeah. Okay. This is what it was. Is that wait? There was a pitch reference, but I was like greeting the church.
Yeah.
And I missed it, and I was like, all right. Never was enough. I literally started like 2 keys higher, and then the guitar comes in, and it was like ding 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 ding, and I was like,
bro, that's
whoa.
what I'm saying. I was like, well, here's what it was. I was saying to my family, I was like, I mean, they could have changed keys when they heard that he came in the wrong key. And my dad was like, he's like, nah, they got to play the set. They're like, if he messes up, he's the one that's got to change keys. And I was like, man,
Bro,
that must be
I
some
was
veteran
trying-
knowledge because I'm
I
not.
was trying so hard
Thinking
not to
on that.
laugh, bro. Like I was like, yo, this is hilarious. I was trying not to laugh, but it was really funny.
Yeah, that was
pretty bad.
All of us.
classic.
Yeah, I like to make them count.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
He's like, if I'm gonna make a mistake, I'm
You
gonna
won't
make sure
make a
He
mistake.
went
everybody
hard
knows
in
that
that
it's me.
key.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
tell
I'm
you that.
went crazy.
Hey, you sold out. At least you sold out. you
I'm
know?
sold out, baby. Put me an E.
Oh my gosh. What are y'all's like favorite things about youth ministry and like especially when it comes to like rhythm and kind of like shaking it up, changing the sound, like changing what like a youth band or whatever you want to call it could look like? Because I think that's where it was like birthed from, at least.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the beauty of this generation is that they refuse to keep a label on them for too long. It's like, oh, you think that we're this? Okay, we're going to switch it up. Oh, you think we're stupid? Well, bam, look at how smart we are. Oh, you think we're lazy? Well, we're just going to make jobs out of the thing that you say is lazy. And so that excites me about, what that means for worship, not because it means that we're changing what worship is, but it just means that like it gives us so many more avenues to enter and so many more spheres to explore. And I think rhythm is really like in that unique opportunity where, because we have so many different people with so many different talents, Josh is freaking insane as a producer in the way his mind works. Nate can almost sing anything, he's ridiculous. He's not just a worship leader. He's also like, his pop vocals are probably some of my favorite. No, like your pop vocals are insane. And so to be in a place where like we can literally do anything and it still be received in a way that's like, oh no, this carries the heart of Jesus Christ and the heart of worship is what excites me a lot about this next generation, because older people are a little bit more stuck in their ways. Like sometimes I even get challenged with that, like sitting in and listening to, Josh creating. He's like, yeah, this is worship music. And I'm like, what? Not when I grew up. Yeah. When I grew up, this was club music. Right. And so I get excited about that.
Club, but you heard about it.
Yeah. Right. Obviously, I was constantly reading my Bible. Like I didn't even know what a club is. Like it's just something I saw on Instagram.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so talking about this specific album, do y'all have any like cool stories from the making of it?
Yeah, it's like we were big on like, I feel like we had 2 big writing camps leading up to it, and there are some crazy songs that like we just write so much as a community that it's like, oh, well, you'll find something in the Dropbox that's crazy. Josh hit me up one night after he came back from Nashville, and he was like, yo, we want to record this tag like after You Will Be Saved. And so this is like, it's a crazy story about the album that's not on the album. And it was like this beautiful like melody. Shout out Mitch, we love you, Mitch Wong. It was a beautiful melody that him and Mitch wrote. And it was just like, Jesus, I call the name of Jesus. He's only just a breath away. He's always just a breath away. And it was kind of like an answer to You Will Be Saved. And so at one point, it's not on there, but You Will Be Saved plays on the track, and it is where it is, and you guys will see it. And then there was like a response to like, okay, this is true. And then Josh was like, record like a voice memo of you singing it and praying, like just do whatever you want. Yeah. And he was just like, as if you heard that song and it was real to you, like the gospel became real to you and Jesus revealed himself to you. And almost like a kid, like, if I can just call on Jesus and say his name and believe in my heart and I'll be saved, then this is what it sounds like. Yeah. Jesus, I call the name of Jesus. So I sent a 20-minute voicemail. Like, it wasn't like, he had me do a session, like open like my joint and then like record vocals and keys over it. And basically I just prayed and sang for 20 minutes and just sent it to him.
That is crazy.
And it was like, and it goes to show like, not even then it's not on the album, but nothing is wasted. Because I low-key got wrecked when I was doing it. Like, and it became real to me. Like, I think it's a cool story about the album, even though it's not on the album, because it goes to show how God is with you in the creativity of it.
Talk about it, bro.
If that song that song didn't make the album, but it marked my heart.
Yeah.
And like, it was so much bigger than like, yo, we need something for an album. Like, God gave Josh and Mitch that inspired creativity because he didn't know that I needed it that night. Yeah. And that I didn't even know that I needed it. And so there's literally in the files of a laptop in Elevation and me and Josh's conversations, a 20-minute, like just me praying and worshiping to this melody, and ended up singing other stuff too that'll never be heard.
That's crazy.
But it blessed me, and like some songs are never meant to leave the room. Some songs are never meant to leave your files. Like some songs the Lord just gives you for you.
Right.
That was gonna be my follow-up question. Like, just living with you and being a really good friend of yours, like I hear so much stuff that like never sees the light of day, but I'm just like, bro, like this is a banger. Like this is insane. Yeah. Is that ever hard to like? Because obviously, like Josh is the producer, he's leading it. Like David's like approving stuff. Like obviously Pastor Steven, like, and that might not be in their vision for the album. Is that like ever hard as like an artist, like you guys are, like if something that you're maybe really proud of doesn't make the cut?
That's a real thing.
It is. It's an interesting thing to navigate. But then when you realize that, like, as creatives, your job isn't to critique, it's to create,
Yeah.
then nothing's ever wasted. It's like, well, maybe that wasn't meant for the world. Maybe that was just meant for me, and that means the world.
Wow.
And so
That's
like
crazy.
And like it's
I mean, what
Clip
a clip.
that.
it's
What a clip.
Chat, clip that.
it's it's
the clip,
it's so
honey.
good, and like Pastor talks about it all the time. He's as creatives, he's like, hey, like if you're sitting in there trying to write a banger or trying to write something for the album, then you already have the wrong motives.
Yeah.
Like you're meant to go in there and go, okay, God, like what are you doing right now, and like how do we write around that, and then whatever happens to it after you leave the room, that's in God's hands. That's like, okay, cool, then you can start bringing people in. But when you treat songwriting, especially, like as a songwriter, all of our songs are our babies. And so when you're in that incubation phase, like the worst thing you can do is try and tell your little baby that it's going to become a doctor when it hasn't even spoken its first words yet.
Dang.
Or you're going to become, like a race car driver. And so we look at those songs, we're like, man, like let's just give it our all. And then once we kind of walk away from it, whatever happens to that, like, yeah, it kind of hurts sometimes because you want your songs to be picked, and you love your songs more than someone else, especially if you're a writer. But at the end of the day, you're like, okay, cool. Am I going to let my motives get in the way of like what God potentially wants to do through other songs and through other people?
Yeah.
And if you live in that too long, that's when it becomes like really toxic.
Yeah, you gotta put the ego down. And it's like half of the ego stems, it could be pride, but the other half is just like, as a creative, like it's a very vulnerable thing to write because you now put yourself out there. You put yourself, you make art out of it, and then you lay it up for someone else to, and it's hard to not make this your identity. And so I was talking to Christian the other day in the car, and we were like, if it makes it a lot easier for that stuff to happen, for like me to write a song and it not get put on the album, when I realized that if that song is like a little painting that I drew, the Lord hangs every painting on his refrigerator.
Yeah, that's beautiful, dude.
Whether it's good or not.
That's beautiful.
Like if we're really children and he's really a dad, then he's proud of every painting.
Yeah.
And that's primary.
Yeah.
And then if that's your primary, it will become easier sometimes. It will never, honestly, it's not easy, but you will be able to process it easier if something doesn't go your way creatively, especially in a setting like this where we are writing so much and we are putting out so much. But that's a real thing. But you have to also be willing to speak about it and give it to the Lord, or else it'll eat you alive. I mean, we've seen it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. So we kind of already talked about this, but is there any bangers? Obviously, we got the 20-minute prayer. We talked about this with Josh and Bella, and y'all were in here for that.
Yeah.
But what's y'all's like one banger that you wish would have made the album? Well, that kind of goes off of what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
You could add one to the album.
I can automatically think of one.
Okay, which one?
Well, Josh already said it anyways, but I feel like Sunday Morning is fire.
Yeah.
I know it's biased because literally we all wrote on it.
Yeah.
But there was just something in that room.
Yeah. we were all
Feel
going
like
crazy.
Sunday. Feel like Sunday morning. Feel like Sunday. Feel like Sunday
Even
morning.
when we played that in the writing camp, like,
Bro,
it was the most turn
dumb.
everybody got
Yep.
for any song.
So dumb. Like,
Y'all have done it live.
we did it at Youth X.
Yeah.
Couple of
If you're not at
times.
Youth X, what are you doing?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hope the youth acts.
July
Yeah.
6th
Roll
and
the
9th.
trailer, like Mike.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Feel like Sunday, yeah. We should start a petition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get it on the next record.
And good, bro. I'm still mad about good.
Bro, people still
Dude, that's
like
kinda like- it's
DM
got a
me about
cult following.
good.
I
dog.
might release it.
Dude, literally.
Me and Elijah
Bro.
might drop a mixtape.
Dog,
bread.
y'all should totally do it. Just like
No, literally, bro. Yeah.
What do we
That
need
was
to
the
do?
first time I ever met you, too.
And we just wrote that song.
Okay, be honest with me. When you met me, what did you think?
Okay, I was like,
Don't lie either.
Uh-oh.
We've never
Normally-
been asked the question.
All right, enough of this.
I don't know what to say. No, okay. So most
He
people,
hated me
when they
when he
asked
first
me
met me,
what I
so.
thought of them. I'm like, I thought you were super annoying, like JT.
Yo.
David, like I love David from the jump, but I was just nervous, bro, because I was at this camp and like it was like my first camp I had ever been to, or like second maybe, I don't know, but I was still new. And it was like very nerve wracking for me. So I was like, God, I hope this guy doesn't think I'm weird. And I was like, my whole thing in my head was, I was like, I'm so young. I have to make a fire beat so that, because it was you and Aaron Cole. I was like, I have to make a fire beat so that they're like, okay, he's valid. I see why he's in the room.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to start cooking. And then you just hopped on the piano and started playing some keys. And I was like, oh, we're lit. Like this
Yeah.
guy's actually valid. And
It
then
was so good.
it was
bro.
just up from there.
I love that song.
Yeah, that song was
Good,
really
good
good.
as a banger.
Did that song come out of that session?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they, like,
And that was your
it's
first time ever like
unpaid
writing?
My
First
first time ever hanging out with Elijah was
And we
in that
wrote the
session.
whole thing and untouched.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. it's just there.
Good?
Good.
Good.
Bro, I'm not, dude. Remember when our whole Elevation Youth Discord like changed their name to like,
bro.
They literally put good in front of their name.
Dude, I still get
whole
I still
Discord.
get like messages on Discord like saying, "Hey, what do we need to do to get good out?" And I'm like,
Should we leave?
You know
It's
what
a
I think
cult
it
following.
was?
We have to
I
leak
think
it.
like during Youth X, we had like a lot of people watching because maybe we had like a good speaker coming up.
yeah.
And we did it in the set, but for the whole like 45 minutes before, I kept saying, we're about to play this unreleased song, it's gonna be a banger. We're about to play this unreleased song, it's gonna be a banger. And they kept like talking about other stuff. I was like, that's fine, but we're about to play this unreleased song, it's about to be a banger. Because I was so hyped for good. And then they played it, and like it was vibes in the room. But
Yeah.
people have, but the other thing is like people have never even heard the actual version because the one we did at Youth X, that's the only time people have ever heard the song, and it was way different. It had like live band and like
Yeah.
crazy stuff on
Yeah.
there. So the OG people haven't even heard the
crazy.
OG.
Cool. So maybe one of those EPs that Josh was talking about.
Yeah,
would
we
just
got
be,
plenty of albums to put it
anyways,
on.
We just
Good.
we can call it
Feel
the
like
ones that
Sunday.
didn't make it.
Yeah.
the ones that didn't make it. The leak.
B-side.
The
B-side.
Growing
Leaks.
Pains B-side.
yeah.
I'm gonna do a B-side album for like every one that we did.
Oh, we should totally do this. It's actually pretty smart. Call the
Yeah,
mixtape.
that is.
So how's the tour been going as we kind of wrap up?
Tell people what it's like to sleep on a bunk.
Oh, it is like sleeping in a coffin, but it's moving.
I love the bus, bro. Don't
I
hate on
love
the
the bus.
No,
I
dude.
feel like
When
I love the
you when
bus.
you sleep, what bunk are you in? Bottom, top? Oh yeah, I'm on the bottom on
yeah,
this
you're
one.
Ooh, so you feel all
So
the...
I feel all the bumps,
Papi,
but then
you feel
also,
the wheels.
I know, but it's so scary to think that like everyone could collapse onto me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and
okay.
so, but outside of that,
Who's on top of you?
it's chill.
I mean, major panic attacks.
Pause.
Pause, bro.
Who
What
is
do you
on
mean
the
by
It's
bunk?
that?
not
It's on
even
top
like
of you.
that.
Pat is. He's our
Yo,
he's
shout
our
out
sound
Pat,
engineer.
man.
Yeah.
Shout out Jason
Pat.
Derulo.
I heard this is what I heard about it is the bottom, like you feel the impact of the road. The middle
Yes.
is the best, and
Yeah.
then the top you feel the sway of the bus.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like
though.
feeling the sway of the
Yeah.
bus.
I
You
like
like
the
the
top.
sway?
You know
Yeah.
when you go to the beach and then you come inside and sleep and you still feel like you're in the ocean?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to sleep on a tour bus. It feels like you're still like moving in the ocean.
Yeah,
or like
it's
you're,
just
or like
good
you're on a
vibes.
cruise. It's just like this.
Right,
It feels like there's just lo-fi music playing when you're on the top.
Literally.
And then in the middle, you're like, oh, I'm home.
right.
And then at the bottom,
it's
you're like,
Yeah, this is my first time this is my first time being in the bottom bunk.
For
yeah,
real?
yeah. I don't know if I love it that much.
same. You got to start taking melatonin with me. It's the only way I'm getting through.
Done.
And I'm still not getting through.
Dude,
Just stop putting them in my mic and accent. I might not.
Right.
I might not
Well,
know the
the
difference.
ones me
This
and JT use, they're like
The
grape
little
flavored. They're
gummies,
fire.
they taste good.
Low key,
Yeah, the
we
gummies.
need to take them away from you because you're probably gonna want to eat a lot.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh,
gonna fall
he's
asleep
just
during the
casually
set.
eating them.
I'm like,
Wakes up in November,
Right.
bro. What?
Bro, you've been in a coma. It's too far, bro. Sorry.
Yeah,
been in a car.
Pretty messed up.
And you're
Dude, this is the combo you got to run though. So last time I did Elevation Nights, and that was the first time I ever been on a tour bus, bro. So it was a very new experience. So I would run a Dramamine and a melatonin at the same time.
Wow.
So you take away like
you're
the
not motion
motion
sickness.
sickness and you're tired.
Wow.
And it was like the best combo, bro.
I don't know if you
I
should
was
be
just
giving
with the
out
NyQuil.
like
I
medical
don't know if I
advice
trust you
on
to-
the air.
Yeah, I'm not a trained professional here.
14-years-olds are like, this
I
is
worked-
what JT
I worked at a
told
gym
me.
I worked at a gym, you know?
Put 275 on the bar, bro.
right,
it's
bro. I can push
moving.
that.
Mom, JT said.
Yeah.
You got kids buying like
So y'all don't
Dramamine
like,
and
do, like
melatonin.
y'all do melatonin, not NyQuil. I feel like I'd be doing NyQuil if I.
No,
could.
NyQuil's if you have like a cold.
Yeah, you
Oh.
can't drink that casually.
Oh, well, I do.
All right, we're done with the medical
All right,
advice. For
don't
the
listen
youth,
to us
man.
for medical advice.
Oh man. So what else we got coming up for Rhythm? Album's out.
Yeah,
Part of the tour left.
Yep.
yeah. I feel like
Nights
there's
is going on right now.
this
Yeah.
year we did like this big rhythm retreat at the end of last year, where we just broke down everything that's happening this year, and we're booked till December.
Yep.
Like,
That's crazy.
like we're on this tour right now. Mind you, half of us will be on Lecrae, and then the other half will leave to Elevation Nights. And then some of us are going to be back and forth to stay at church too.
Right.
Like coming to and from. And then as soon as like Lecrae ends in April, it's like, yo, it's youth conference season. I'm sorry, in May, it's youth conference season. We're going to be at VU, at VU conference. We're going to be at a lot of conferences. It's like every weekend, smooth up until like the first week of July. Mind you,
we got
while
Youth
all
X.
that is happening, we still got Youth X, which is like massive. Youth X is in Orlando. And so by the time Youth X is over, it's like halfway through July, end of July, you get into August. August, it's album season, and there's probably going to be another tour, whether it's nights or another tour for like another person that we're hopping on or a solo joint. Like, and then before you know it, it's winter, and it's like, oh, we're doing another album, and oh, by the way, see you guys after Thanksgiving.
That's
Right.
crazy.
And then it's like, oh, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, our lives are pretty much scheduled at this point out.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, in between
dude.
all of that, I'm just hanging out with my wife.
Right.
And,
And your dog.
And your dog.
And my dog,
Yo,
Rody.
shout out Rolly.
and
Potentially making, no, I'm joking. I'm
Potentially making a lot of pancakes.
big and yeah.
David's pancakes are the
Dude, they're
best.
fire.
David got the best pancakes in the game.
That's incredible.
Did you make the pancakes for Tim's birthday?
I did.
Those were fire.
Those
That's
are
what I'm
fire.
trying to say. All my
Oh.
pancakes be.
He does. That's in
fire.
his diet. Pancakes. And I lived
Okay.
with David for 3 months, and he doesn't eat anything. He's not lying about his diet, but he forgot to include the 2 meals that he makes at home, which is he'll go to Publix and get these like buffalo chicken, like pre-cooked things, and then put it in between a Hawaiian roll and eat like 1.5 of them. And then,
What?
yeah,
That's what I eat at home. Yeah,
that's what he eats at
yeah.
home. That's his, like, oh, I'm meal prepping.
I'm cooking at home. That's what he's doing. If he
Bo
ever
says
told
I'm
you I
meal-
got a home cooked meal for you, bro.
That's what it is.
It'll either be pancakes or Hawaiian rolls with
Yeah.
ready-made chicken in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I eat.
My
And it's
gosh,
kind of
man.
scary how good they are.
That's one
Well,
thing.
the line's forming outside for the tour.
I know,
We're
we
gonna
gotta
get you
sound
guys
check.
out of here,
Yeah,
man.
that's crazy.
Thank
I
you
love
guys
you
so
guys.
much for
Love
coming
y'all,
on,
boys.
bro. That was
Thank
so
you.
fun. It's
Love
the first
y'all.
people from Elevation that we've had on the
Dude,
podcast.
we were just like talking, just like it's just the boys. you
yeah,
know?
we were just
It is
hanging
the
with the
boys.
boys, man.
Oh, there's cameras over there.
Oh, yeah, I
Oh,
forgot.
who are you guys?
Oh my god.
Is that Lamb?
Where did the mic come from?
Oh man, that's a wrap. Thank
Love
you
y'all.
guys.
Thing is true, I was made to love you. All my friends just wanna be famous, living life with a lot of time wasted. I choose you, you're what's missing. I choose you, now I'm different. Everyone says